Hello, my name is Adam Kamisara from Keio University in Tokyo, Japan. I am the president-elect, soon to be president of the International Academy for Intercultural Research. And I'd like to congratulate Jan-Pieter van Oudenhoven for winning the IAIR Lifetime Achievement Award this year, along with Colleen Ward. I'd like to just read a few sentences, a few paragraphs from my nomination letter for Jan-Pieter, because I think that says it's best about how I feel about his career and his wonderful contribution to the field. Over the course of his career, Jan-Pieter van Oudenhoven has been a formative scholar in the field of intercultural studies and acculturation psychology. His contributions specifically to IAIR as president and as an associate editor of the International Journal of Intercultural Relations demonstrate his extraordinary service to our academy, which is further solidified with his organization of IAIR's Groningen Conference in 2007. Furthermore, he has prolifically published his research in 4 books, as well as a plethora of papers in highly respected international journals and impactful book chapters. In fact, 138 publications in total. Dr. van Oudenhoven's scientific work is characterized by a highly creative selection of topics that link his own field of cross-cultural studies with the humanities and language sciences. His work is not only driven by scientific curiosity, but also by a drive to contribute to practice, well known as the Multicultural Personality Questionnaire that he developed together with his wife, Karen van der Zee. One of my favorites is his influential paper with Colleen Ward in the International Journal of Intercultural Relations in 2013, where they provided a new framework for approaching acculturation studies in the 21st century. Jan-Pieter has also made important contributions to acculturation psychology in terms of methods and measurement. His experimental scenario approach, asking people to respond to situations that represent various acculturation strategies in the Berry framework, has been an original, influential method applied in many studies of acculturation strategies across the globe. In order to provide tools to help individuals that need to develop intercultural competencies, Jan-Pieter developed the Intercultural Effectiveness Training. This training method is based on a well-accepted cultural training technique, the culture assimilator, which is also called the intercultural sensitizer. Given these and his extensive contributions over a lifetime to theory, methods and practice in our field, I would like to heartily congratulate Jan-Pieter van Oudenhoven for winning IAIR's Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you.
Kia ora, greetings from New Zealand. I'm Colleen Ward, and I'm here to extend my heartiest congratulations to Jan-Pieter van Oudenhoven on his Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, I've known Jan-Pieter for the best part of 20 years, but even before we met, I was familiar with his scholarship. He's made a significant contribution to the advancement of theory and research on acculturation and intercultural relations, as you can see in the attached slide, which is just a smattering of his publications. His work with his wife, Karen van der Zee, is particularly impressive. The MPQ, Multicultural Personality Questionnaire, that they have given us is a robust tool that reliably predicts psychological and sociocultural adaptation during cross-cultural transition. And I can say, at least from my own research, it performs much better than other popular measures like measures of cultural intelligence. His work on virtues and vices is unique. And his cross-cultural study of abuse terms means that Jan-Pieter knows how to insult people in 10 different languages. Forever the internationalist. I can't do justice to Jan-Pieter's stellar academic career in this brief and fleeting message, but I would also like to acknowledge his many contributions to our academy. He was president from 2011. He has been an associate editor of the International Journal of Intercultural Relations, and he has been the organizer of our very successful IAIR conference in Groningen in the Netherlands. And beyond all of this, Jan-Pieter is a wonderful person, a warm and true friend, and a whole lot of fun. So I lift my glass, Jan-Pieter, to you. Congratulations on your Lifetime Achievement Award.
Dear colleagues, my name is Ipe Poortinga. I am a long-time colleague of Jan-Pieter in the Netherlands. Jan-Pieter's contributions that earned him the Lifetime Achievement Award of IAIR are in English. I like to draw attention to a part of his activities that is less well known to most of you, namely his contributions in the Netherlands and his writings in Dutch. He has been a highly respected professor at the University of Groningen, and his intercultural effectiveness training and the multicultural personality questionnaire have a following among intercultural communication trainers also in the Netherlands. In 2019, Jan-Pieter received the Sinbad Award of the Netherlands Institute of Psychologists for, quote, exceptional merits in the area of intercultural psychology, unquote. For me, Jan-Pieter's most visible contribution in Dutch is the textbook Interculturele Psychologie, Intercultural Psychology, written together with Pieter van Oudenhoven. This is the third edition of a textbook for higher professional education that was first published under the title Cultuurpsychologie, Cultural Psychology, with Jan-Pieter as the sole author. This book established his reputation nationally among a large and diverse group of professionals. Thanks for allowing me to add to this session, and thank you for your attention.
I'm delighted to speak about Jan-Pieter, congratulating him on being a winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I'd like to focus on his work on service to the Academy. JP has been a member of IAIR for more than 20 years, quickly distinguishing himself as a leader. In particular, we appreciate his flexibility and creativity. In 2007, the site for our biennial conference fell through, and JP stepped forward and heroically agreed to put together a conference in just a few months' time at the University of Groningen. We had a magnificent conference, including an opening ceremony in the historic City Hall, and we all enjoyed that so much. Because of his work for the conference and serving on subsequent committees, JP was elected president of the Academy and served from 2011 to 2013. He has continued with his advice, serving on the Executive Council and just being a confidant and advisor to us for the past couple of years. Interestingly, the two Lifetime Achievement Award winners this year, JP and Colleen Ward, had cornered me at a conference and strongly urged me to run for president of the Academy. And thanks to their mentoring, I served as president from 2015 to 2017. So congratulations, JP. You richly deserve this award, our biennial award of Lifetime Achievement. Congratulations.
I've known Jan-Pieter for about 20 years now, first as my professor in cross-cultural psychology, and then as the supervisor of my PhD project. And later on, we continued working together when I was a postdoc. I got to know him as a very knowledgeable, inspiring and innovative person, a scientist who sees the importance of converting scientific findings into applications for practice. Jan-Pieter has meant a lot to the field of cross-cultural psychology, and he still does. Let me give a few examples of his, in my opinion, very relevant and important work. Jan-Pieter has developed the Multicultural Personality Questionnaire together with Karen van Oudenhoven van der Zee. This is a questionnaire that measures 5 intercultural competencies, contributing to operating successfully in an intercultural context. This questionnaire is very well known and is widely used up to this day in and outside of academia. Based on the MPQ, Jan-Pieter has developed a training program for expats, the Intercultural Effectiveness Training. And this program makes use of critical incidents to allow people to practice 3 of the 5 intercultural competencies of the MPQ: social initiative, cultural empathy, and open-mindedness. And the training program turned out to be very successful. And as we speak, 3 versions of the program exist: one for expats, one for Dutch professionals, and one for citizens in general from different cultural groups. In addition to his contribution to the field of cross-cultural psychology, Jan-Pieter also contributed to the personal and professional development of many PhD students and postdocs. As my supervisor, he was very knowledgeable, involved, and encouraging. He gave me self-confidence when I needed it, and he gave me opportunities to keep developing. Without him, I would not be where I am today, working as an associate professor at the University of Applied Sciences. So I'm very proud and grateful that I had the opportunity to work with Jan-Pieter for so many years. And I can only say the Lifetime Achievement Award is very, very well deserved.
Hello, my name is Joep Hofhuis. I would like to start by congratulating Jan-Pieter on this wonderful and well-deserved recognition. I first met Jan-Pieter in the early 2000s when I was a bachelor student at the University of Groningen, and I enrolled in his course on cross-cultural psychology. And as many of you will know, Jan-Pieter is very passionate about his work, and he would always teach with a lot of humor and always with a twinkle in his eye. And I think it was his teaching, as well as that by his wife, Karen, that eventually led to me pursuing a career as an intercultural scholar myself. Having had the privilege to work together with them both has been a great inspiration. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. I use the Multicultural Personality Questionnaire in a lot of my own research, and Jan-Pieter's work on the use of curse words has been an absolute favorite in my own teaching on intercultural communication. Jan-Pieter was also the one who introduced me to the IAIR. As a first-year PhD candidate, I was able to attend the conference in Groningen and be introduced to this community, of which I am now very happy to be an active member. So I would like to thank Jan-Pieter for being a wonderful person and an amazing scholar, and I look forward to using his work to inspire future generations of intercultural researchers. Thank you.
Namaste, Jan-Pieter. Congratulations. Here's something I've written for you. Tall, blonde, and handsome. Not just a pretty face. Nice legs, fitter than moi, and lots of grey matter too. Joy in collaboration. Pioneeringly multicultural. And what a personality. Muy cool. Questioning and curious. Prolific and respectful. Warm, trusting, and generous. A fabuloso traveling buddy. Stimulating meal companion. Confident and humorous. A loving friend and colleague. Dank u wel, Super Jan-Pieter.
Let me start by congratulating Jan-Pieter himself. Jan-Pieter, a Lifelong Achievement Award, and I think that's really well deserved. So congratulations and a big hug from me. Then let me share some stories about my collaboration with Jan-Pieter. Jan-Pieter is not only a collaborator, but he's also my husband, and we have been in a relationship since 1996, and that has been a wonderful period together. But we also collaborated, and that started because Jan-Pieter at some point said, I have always dreamed of developing an instrument for intercultural competencies, and I think I know everything about different cultures. I've lived abroad, I've lived in Mexico, and I'm also a cross-cultural psychologist. And you know everything about personality, and you also know everything about psychometrics. So let's join those forces and start a project on an instrument that later turned into the Multicultural Personality Questionnaire. And then we started collaborating, and that was fantastic. Looking over all the literature, finding indications of competencies that may be important for success in an intercultural setting, whether that is for immigrants or for expatriates or international students, whatever. And the collaboration was really interesting because Jan-Pieter is, as most of you will know, highly creative, full of humor, and he has a strong imagination. And even when we went on travels, he would sit with a notebook and note interesting instances of intercultural encounters and write them down and use them as input for our competency system. And I, on the contrary, was more the person of the hard work, of structuring things, and also our flow of working, and also being very rigorous when it comes to methodology. And I think those forces resulted in, indeed, in the complementarity that Jan-Pieter had been hoping for, because I think we can be really proud of the instrument that has now been translated in many languages and is used across the world. And I think Jan-Pieter is really the father of that instrument. And together we had a very inspiring period of time working on that. But I also think that the result is there to be seen, and we can be proud of that. Of course, Jan-Pieter did many other things, and I think he always was very creative, who could think of studying curse words or studying virtues. Well, Jan-Pieter would typically be the kind of person who would invent such topics of research and then start doing it and finding friends across the world to collaborate with. I think that's really a competency that he brings to the table and in which he is quite original. But he is not only a magnificent scholar, he is also a wonderful person. He has charm, he is intelligent, he is warm, he is open-minded, he will never judge people either because they have different norms or because they betray norms that are typically there in society. And he would even also do that sometimes himself. When we were on holiday, he would always like to swim in the swimming pool of a hotel where we were not staying. And I would be scared to death that someone would catch us doing that. But he would simply do it and look with a look that really made no one suspicious. So usually I was waiting at the outside of the hotel and he would go for a swim and even use the towels of the hotel, and then with a charming smile would leave the hotel again, and no one would notice that he was breaking rules or was not part of that hotel. Unfortunately, Jan-Pieter has serious memory problems. And that's also why I want to end this contribution by thanking the Academy for giving him this acknowledgement, because it means a lot to him. He's really grateful for this, and he is proud of what he has accomplished, but he could never think of such a sign of acknowledgement at the end of his career. And for sure, he does remember all his friends in the Academy and wants me to say hi to all of them. Thank you.